We say what they can't radio.
The Lipstick Chronicles. It's the Lipstick Chronicles. The Lipstick Chronicles. The Lipstick Chronicles.
What's up? What's up?
What's up?
Hello.
Hey.
You are listening to the Lipstick Chronicles. If you are unaware, it is hot up in here. It's getting a little misty. But
He asked me if I'm cold. It's freaking burning up in here.
we are ready with it. So,
It was hot from the energy. That's all. We was hot from the energy, but we good. We good.
listen,
chilling.
Happy New Year to
Yeah,
everybody.
Happy
This is our
New
first
Year. It's our
see
first
you guys
show.
since
Last
New Year.
year.
Yes. So, I hope everybody New Year has started off with a wonderful kick. On to good things, of course,
Yeah.
as always.
Yes.
So, what's up, ladies?
Woo, what is up? What is up?
I started a no beef and no pork regimen.
Oh, when you said no beef, I thought you meant like drama. Damn.
And then,
I thought you was talking about like no beef, but you
Listen,
talking about food.
I
All
don't like
right.
to start beef, but
All
I mean,
right.
if you bring beef,
Well, chicken, pork,
just saying,
all
I'll
that
be a
stuff.
butcher. and we'll learn. But yeah, no
What you
beef.
said? You like
no
to be a
pork.
finisher?
I'm gonna be the butcher if you
All
gonna bring me the
right,
beef,
all right,
but
all
I'm
right.
not a troublemaker.
Right.
So anyway, I don't eat beef anymore. I don't eat pork
Congratulations.
anymore. And I even cut down the poultries. Like I'll eat maybe chicken or turkey, but that'll be considered like a cheat day once a week.
So,
Okay.
what the hell are you eating? What, fish?
Fish.
But you
and
got to be careful with the fish
tuna.
too.
Because it's, yeah.
And on some days,
Cholesterol,
like no
cholesterol.
meat.
Yeah,
Some
you
days.
don't need meat. I try to
And
tell
You
my
don't
kids
need
you don't
meat. It
need
just
meat.
tastes wonderful and the meal is
Yes.
just super
She said
incomplete if you
wonderful.
do not have
Right.
the
Listen,
meat.
and I'm a greedy person, so yes, it took. Nobody could understand how did I end up like not eating meat at all. Like I amaze myself
I
sometimes.
feel the difference already though.
You
like
do.
I physically feel lighter without
Especially
eating
when you
the
go
meat.
to the bathroom.
Yeah, because it makes you,
When
it
I'm
does
moving
make you
around,
heavy. Yeah.
I don't feel as sluggish.
Now, are you
I'm
drinking
not
a lot of
dragging
water?
around. Well, yeah, I stepped that up more too.
Okay, all right.
So,
that's good then.
like my son got me onto this. He asked me to please try because it worked for him. Now his stomach is like a washboard.
All right,
He
but see,
like
it's different for men though. It's different
Right.
for
Yeah,
men.
because our body
Yes.
Right.
is just totally
Yeah.
different from
and them
theirs.
babies,
so-
Right.
everything just go right to the midsection.
Oh,
all the
God,
sugar we
yes,
eat, all the
Lord,
starch we
yes,
eat goes
Lord
right to the
Jesus.
midsection.
Right.
Yes, that's
right.
true.
So it's been working. I mean, I even tried the whole like vegan meat, but that shit is like witchcraft. I don't
Well,
understand.
now it all depends. So you gotta check the brand.
I know. I
You
don't
gotta
understand.
check the brand though. You gotta
No, no,
check the brand.
I-
Like Morning
I
Side is a good
heard.
one.
I want to try. I want to try
I
their
bought
burgers.
one. It was like supposed to be like a ground beef crumble, but it was just veggies and it was so good. Nobody knew that
But
it
I
was no
want to
meat in there.
understand how do you turn the veggie into that meat? Like,
Excuse me, girl.
don't
You know Chinese people could do anything.
I don't get it. I do not understand. If something is vegetables, how did that turn into a breakfast sauce? It's
Did
like,
you see how the Chinese
into a
made
burger?
plastic
That's-
into rice? What are you talking about?
and
Girl,
then
anything
the
is
veggie,
possible.
Like some kind of veggie chicken.
Well, you know
like,
what it is. There's
like,
a lot of coloring, a lot of natural coloring. Like they use beets for a lot of things to give
Right,
color.
yeah.
They use a lot of natural colors from the vegetables to give them that color. And then if you got a machine, you can make anything to anything.
That's very true.
That's like witchcraft.
Yeah, well, it's good.
That's
though.
strange.
But it's
I will
good.
I just rather not than to be.
No, but
'cause
it's
I
good. Don't-
understand.
no,
But
you got- it's
let me
good.
let me tell you this though, right? From a person who I had cut out beef and cut out pork. I mean, I go back every now and then.
She's a cheater.
She's not perfect. And chicken, but I was on a whole thing where I was just eating a lot of fish and seafood. Let me just tell you, make sure you drink tea and stuff like that because you get very gassy.
Yes,
And you be hurting. And
I drink a lot of ginger tea.
That's good, but you
Yeah.
know what you should mix it with? So when I was doing my whole detox, they have they have the fasting tea, they have the detoxing tea, and I would always mix that with my ginger tea in the morning, afternoon, and the evening. Just because I'm at work all day, so I don't got the luxury to just kind of like lay back and do nothing. But I would always drink some warm water. Drink some warm water just to kinda
I'll
keep
drink
it in the
warm
gas
water,
and
especially
stuff.
when I'm cold. I'll go easily drink warm water.
But no sugar. So no sugar and even not a lot of honey either, because honey could be tricky. Because this honey we buy in the stores ain't real honey. Like ain't no
it's
bees
not.
out there shitting out honey. Like so you got to be real careful with the honey too, because it be having more sugar than anything. So they be passing off this stuff that they call honey as real honey.
Right.
The best honey is the black honey, the purple honey, and then the honey that have like the little specks in it. Even though it's hard to, like when you drinking tea, it's hard to those little things going down your mouth. But that honey is the best honey. And I do know a few people who have bee farms, and they produce honey.
Oh, I want to go to the
Yes, I don't want to go there. I don't want to get stung by no damn bees. But they do produce their own. They manufacture their own honey, and it tastes very good. Okay. It tastes very good.
Well, I'm down for some changes.
Yes, don't worry. You know, I'll hook you up, girl. You know,
I mean, so far everything I'm trying is working slowly for me, but it's working.
No,
the only
it's
thing
not gonna be
is
fast unless
that
you really
I
surgery.
just gotta learn how to not be a slave to carbs. Like I like carbs. I like pasta.
See,
I like
that was the problem. That's why when I did the fasting, I gave up the meat and I gave up the starches because that's like my
all at
week-
one time.
All at one
See,
time. Well,
I
it's only
can't,
45 days.
I can't.
But on the 45th day, these fools took me to Carmine's. Okay, and they ordering all this stuff. I said, whatever y'all don't eat, just pack it up in a goodie bag. I'm gonna eat this shit for breakfast. And I had like this big bowl of pasta for breakfast, everything, because I'm just like, I was fiending, but I did not. When I tried to eat the meat, I was getting sick a lot. Like I was just like, every time I'm eating, my kids still eat meat. Well, they still eat chicken and turkey. So, and I'm frying chicken. And I'm like, I just want to eat some skin. And I would eat it, and I'd be like, oh, I don't feel so good. But now I'm eating chicken. Because I had like a week off from work, and I said, I'm going to force myself to eat this chicken without getting sick. So I think I OD'd. I done turned into a real chicken head. Like I done OD'd. So I'm trying to wean myself back off of it. I've never been a turkey fan, so it's just
You
like,
don't like turkey wings?
girl, my mother used to cook so much turkey wings that I really just, I didn't eat turkey wings until I was about 30 years old. Like, I just like, you know what, maybe it was the way she cooked it. And I said, let me just go and do it myself. And I fried them bad boys because I was like, I can't do the whole. They are
They
bomb, girl.
fry.
They are
everything.
so good.
I fry them.
So good, so good. But you got to get the baby turkey wings. You can't get them big old turkey wings because they'll just be dry and tough. But I fried it. Then I made barbecue turkey. So I was like, okay, I got to make it my way. And I realized a lot of stuff I don't like because my mama couldn't cook. She ain't gonna watch this show. I mean,
Right,
she
I'm
might
like,
watch it, but
she
I tell her to her face she couldn't cook.
Somebody gonna show her
That's
that.
why I
clip.
learned how to cook because my mama couldn't cook. Like I did, she made the same thing every week. So let's say Monday might have been pig feet, Tuesday might have been chicken. That was probably the
Wait,
best
pig
thing.
feet?
Girl,
feet good, girl.
that's when I ain't know no better.
I eat
never
pig
ate
feet.
That's when your mother
before.
said you gonna eat what I cook on this table, or you
Listen.
gonna sit here all night. And I used to sit there
I
all
eat pig
night
feet.
long.
I like
before.
sauce.
You ain't
And
missing
sauce
nothing.
is good.
Sauce
You ain't
It
missing
has
nothing.
Pig feet
Trust
in
me,
it,
I
and
missing
I love
nothing.
it.
My thing was, and when I got an adult, I said, why was we eating somebody's feet and they have no meat on it? It's just a bunch of fucking
It's all right.
collagen.
It's all right.
It's just
It's
fat
good.
and blubber
Or
and
sauce
bone.
have like pig ears or pig tail.
Well,
when
sauce, but
some of
pig
them-
feet have nothing.
When I do mine, I do pig feet.
Pig feet have nothing. And
It's good.
that's her opinion.
Just gotta scrape the blubber.
No, thank
but
you.
Everything else is okay.
No, thank you. No pork for me. And I just said, like, I know, like, that's what our people were prone to. But I'm like, when I was little, we wasn't slaves. So, like, we could eat other stuff, But she had the same menu, and she used to make liver, beets, and rice. And I would literally sit at that table all night long. And when I'm like, I could outdo you. When she go to sleep, I put that shit behind the radiator. I'm like, because she checked the garbage. So I put it behind the radiator because I'm not eating that.
Did you leave the stuff behind already?
I did, and one day she was like, "What is that smell?" And I'm like, "I don't know, but it really sticky."
No, let
but
me
I
tell
did
you.
find it and throw it out.
When my oldest daughter was smaller, like I would make beats and stuff like that. I remember I made beats one time, and she just kind of was like, "Oh my god, you really like it?" So she was giving it. So my little sister, they used to stay with me and everything, and she goes to put on her shoes at school, and she was like, "What is all this in my shoe?" The girl was taking the beats and putting it in her sneakers. All this time, I'm like, I'm thinking
And
you enjoying
you
it.
just making them. And
Yes.
And she like, whatever.
she like, yeah,
Whatever.
she think I like this nasty shit.
Whatever.
See, my problem was I didn't like that the beets turned my rice pink. That's what I didn't like. I didn't like food touching other food.
Yeah, I get
just
that.
had
I understand
And I
that.
didn't like how liver looked before it was cooked. So I'm feeling like it can't get no better after. No matter what you do to it, it's just not going to be a good thing. And so one quick story. I was young. I was bad. I didn't listen. So my mother used to work. I was a latchkey kid. And I used to have my friends come over. We used to jump out the window to the backyard because we couldn't go outside. But we lived on the first floor. So we used to have blankets, and we would literally, like, I was a boy, like, climb down. I would climb back up. So one day, I was like, everybody come to my house. We was playing tag in the house. And somebody tagged somebody and pushed them into a window. Broke the window. I'm like, everybody get out. So the boy went upstairs crying because he got hurt. And his mother, Miss Aubrey, she was evil. She was evil. So she used to beat the shit out her sons. I mean, beat them to the point where she beat the boy in the bathtub and the soap dish broke and cut his arm from shoulder to his elbow. And she's like, just tell him that you failed. Tell him that you
Child
failed.
abuse.
Girl, you know
Back
in them
then,
days,
it
BCW wasn't on
now.
that goddamn job. But so the lady comes downstairs. She's like, oh my God, you got to eat something. You got to build up your strength. I'm like, I'm not hungry. This bitch bring down some liver, beets, and rice. I said, I'm not eating that. She said, oh no, you got to get your strength because your mother's going to beat you. I was like, I would rather starve. I'm not eating that. She's like, but you got to eat. I was like, I'm not eating that. I don't care what my mother do to me. I'm not eating that. I was like, that is the worst. I said, you know what? I know my life is over at this point. Because what luck would I have that she would bring liver, beets, and rice?
I never.
It was just looking at it. It just looked like they just opened somebody up and took out their organ.
Chicken livers is good.
No, chicken livers are good though, but they're little. They're little. You know, chicken gizzards. Those
What
are good.
do you eat? I like chicken gizzards, but you gotta eat them real quick because they
Yes,
get tough.
yes,
When
yes,
the ear
yes.
hit it, it's like tough instantly.
I used to go to the Chinese restaurant. Remember the Chinese restaurant around the corner from Monroe Street?
Well, right there
Yes.
by the laundromat.
I used to go there all the time. Like, can I get some chicken gizzards and some rice, some French fries, girl, and rib tips. Lord have mercy.
And
Rib
I won't
tips
eat
with extra
shit from the
sauce.
Chinese
No, I don't eat
restaurant
no
now.
Chinese
Are you
food now.
fucking kidding
Hell
me?
to the no.
Hell no.
No. I haven't eaten Chinese food. I'm 42. I've eaten Chinese food over 20 years. No. A lady, my neighbor came to me. I had the Chinese food. She said, you ever wonder why Chinese food is so cheap? I'm like, no, I just know it's cheap and I can get a lot of it. She said, because they don't clean their food. And then made me examine, like, yeah, I remember sucking out a feather out my damn teeth. So I'm like, okay. And then I went to a restaurant to order food for somebody. It was mice droppings on the table, on the counter. So I'm like, you still want this food? He's like, yeah, I want that food. I'm like, I guess that's the seasoning.
dirtiest things
I guess
be
that's the seasoning.
Be some of the best things you ever taste.
I know, like
sometimes.
a dirty burger. You know, you be wanting a dirty burger
dirty
from the
hot
diner.
dog, dirty
I used to be like, I just need me a dirty. When I was
Chinese.
pregnant, I'm like, I just need me a
sometimes
dirty burger
dirty
right now.
dudes, like it's a
Oh,
dirty.
no dirty dudes. No dirty dudes.
Sometimes the dirtiest
No
just
dirty
be the
dudes.
best. Sometimes
Oh, dusty dudes, maybe dusty, not dirty dudes, maybe dusty dudes.
dirty looking, but not
Right, but he's clean. He just
Right,
got on
he just-
dusty clothes.
yeah,
like
like-
he had his clothes just standing up by themselves in the
Yeah.
corner. Well,
Well,
that was interesting.
We're gonna move into hot topics, highs and lows.
It's hot in here.
Yes, it is. I'm dying.
It's already a hot topic.
I'm sick because I don't want to pronounce the young lady's
Okay,
name
so we
wrong.
want to say wonderful congratulations to Cyntoia Brown.
Yes.
You know, all of the people that supported her and put in a good word and fought for her to be released, not just Kim Kardashian. Okay, I don't know why they calling her the jailhouse prince. Some damn shit they calling her. Like she's the one actually getting people released from jail. There was several petitions that were put out there, several online medias that were saying this young lady, because now I think she's 30, needs to be released because whatever the crime that she committed when she was 15 years old, I'm sure she's a different person now and she was in a different headspace. She was a victim. And regardless of when she mustered up the strength to take down her predator, then that's just what it is. I mean, she came through victorious, and congratulations to her. And I know
Absolutely.
that good things are gonna happen for her.
Yes.
I mean, from 15 to 30, what kind of life would you really have? But I just hope that she is surrounded by
A
great
great support
people.
system.
Get
Absolutely.
that book deal, get that movie
Yeah,
deal, get
tell
all of that,
your
because you're
story.
coming out in a time where it's so easy to make money, through media. So hopefully, she has a nice, positive, long life.
Yes.
And that she can function outside of the walls of
'cause
prison.
That's another
because
thing
she went in at a very impressionable age, so hopefully, she's okay. And we'll just continue to pray for you.
Absolutely. So, speaking of predators and things like that, of course, it's been trending. Everybody's been talking about it. I'm tired of hearing about it. It's just like, oh my God. But of course, R. Kelly.
My man's in
I don't know who. I'm quite sure a lot of people seen it. I only seen. Did you
Not
watch
me.
it?
I didn't see it.
I watched 3 episodes. It's like 6 episodes.
Yep.
And I watched 3 of them. I just was like, okay, yeah, I'm over this.
Yeah, I
just
didn't
don't
watch
wanna
it.
watch
I
it.
didn't need to see.
I promised y'all I would watch it, and I did
I know,
try, but
I know.
I just couldn't.
I know. It's
I
just
just
a little,
couldn't.
It's a little rough.
Like I can imagine what was happening to them. I just don't want to hear them say the words. I don't want to paint that picture in my head. I don't want to just think about that. I'm glad they away from him now, but at the same time, I don't want to hear nothing from nobody that benefited financially from being around him doing this nasty,
Right.
despicable, dirty shit. So I don't know which ones got money and which ones didn't. So
Well,
I mean,
all of them got money.
Right.
Right.
You
For
got a
doing,
TV show,
for
you
doing,
got
for,
money.
for going up there, all of them got money. My thing is this though, and this is like really, I mean, I don't condone. I would never condone anything that he did, but I
Allegedly, because
feel
we don't even know if it's true or not.
allegedly.
I mean, this is he said, she said.
And that's a fact. But my thing
Right.
is, we all knew that he liked little girls ever since the tape came out, I think in 2000 or
Yes.
something, 2001
No,
or
it
no,
was
before
longer
that
than
was a little
that.
in the
I
90s.
saw it when we was using VCRs.
Yeah, I seen
Right,
it
but
too,
we
and
still
it was
don't know
like-
if that was him on the actual
It
tape.
don't look like him.
Well, I know. Listen,
It looks
there was
like
a
him
dude on
until the
Monroe that looked
face.
just like R. Kelly. I thought that was
It
him.
looked just like him
Oh
until
my
the
God.
face
That
went
look
all
on
the way
your block,
in.
right?
Right.
Yes.
I don't want to say his name, but you know what I'm talking about.
I know.
Like
He,
him.
I actually called his wife and was like, "Why you tell me this nigga's playing songs?" She's like, "Girl, that ain't him." I'm
But
like,
it
what?
really looked like him.
No,
until
it
the
looked
face
like
went all the
him.
way inside
But
the
guess what?
butthole.
You know what?
It looked like him because
But
I
the
was
problem
watching
with that
over and
was
over
it was
again
so
the 50%.
distorted from being copied and
So
watched.
many
Who
times.
has the original tape?
Like
If you got the original tape, bring it out. Because if I had the original tape and I wanted to, this man was not convicted of anything. He was not found guilty of
and he
anything.
was, and they had 21 counts of pornography against him.
Right, and none of them, and he got convicted for none of them.
I mean, I'll just say this: if we're gonna place blame, you want to place blame on him, then everybody that was involved,
Everybody
blame
involved.
all of the people that was giving out
Everybody
the
who
numbers,
turned
going
their
with him to the
head,
school,
the parents,
that was-
and people keep saying, don't blame the
especially
parents,
You have
the
to blame
parents.
the parents because, first of all, if you got a 14-year-old, 15-year-old, 16, 17-year-old daughter, and she's not coming home and she's doing whatever, aren't you questioning where the hell she's at? 14, 15, 16, how the hell you don't know where you're doing? Okay, now during school hours, I understand because I was a child too.
Right.
You would cut, you would do things, but after school hours, okay, where the hell are you?
I'm sorry, but some of these parents was in the studio too.
I mean,
Because there was one woman who said she had never been around R. Kelly, and then they brought up footage of her sitting right next to him.
See, and
So, I
that's
mean-
and that's the thing. It's like, it's like, okay, these parents, why aren't they being held accountable?
Exactly. So, like I said, I didn't
gonna
watch
make
it.
sure that some of these parents.
Oh, of course.
down for
Because
this.
see,
You gotta
now
make
it's just
sure.
going to be a back and forth thing.
Right.
Because see, now, remember, he got long money. So now
Oh,
he
no,
can
he
do.
ain't got no money like
no,
that.
yes, he do. Yes. Oh,
He
don't
got a
trust
little
him,
bit
but
of
he
coins
got
because
money.
they were saying he was broke.
No,
I'm
yeah,
like,
they
really?
can say that. They can
Okay.
say that, but this
Well,
man,
he got a
this
lot of
man got
bills
money
right now.
He got money, so he got all of these things that he can do investigations. He can do all of this stuff. So the whole thing is, if this man had no money, would this story have come out?
No.
No.
But then you know what too? It's like everybody picks and chooses
Who they wanna crucify.
Because I mean, let's be honest, let's be frank. There are many hip hop artists that have dealt with young girls, people in the industry that have
Excuse
dealt
me,
with young girls.
Mr. Puffy, when him and Misha had their baby, he was 24 and she was 16. I mean, so that's underage, is it not?
I mean, there's
Is it not?
many of you have
Russell Simmons, he
and
was
he's-
with Kimora and they
said
hid their relationship.
until she was old enough for him to marry her.
Now, why we got to take our black brothers down? What about Woody Allen? He married his 14-year-old daughter for crying out. I don't care if she was adopted or not. The
And you
fact
know
of the
what?
matter, she was still 14.
Here is a big one, and they still love him. He is a legend, Elvis Presley.
Uh-huh.
He was in the army, stationed in Germany, and he got her when she was 14 years
Hello?
old, moved her to America,
This is what I'm
and
saying.
married her, and it was
But he
well
still
known,
died
and
a
it was
legend.
no problem, no issue. And once again, like I said, I'm not trying to condone what he did because he was
No,
wrong. He
definitely
shouldn't have been
not.
messing with no damn
No.
young girls at
No.
all whatsoever. But again, you can't pick and choose who you decide you
No.
want to crucify.
No.
If you're going to sit there and you're going to place blame, take everybody.
That's right.
Everybody. Because
Just put them all in a boat like Amistad and ship their asses out somewhere. I mean, castrate them all if it's up to me. I mean, because now, so I got two sides of this. So me being a victim of predatory behavior from when I was a child. I mean, there's a lot of dudes on Notion Avenue that probably need to be brought up on some damn
Okay.
charges. Okay, but we ain't
exactly.
gonna go there because y'all ain't got no money and I don't want no money from y'all. But the whole thing is, this is America this has like been a thing since the beginning of time. Older men like younger women. Why? Because most of the time men want to control their women. So they
easier to
deal with the
mold
younger
and get in
women
their heads.
because they get them early because they could mold them to what they want them to be. Now, with R. Kelly, he's illiterate, okay? he was abused. He only can appeal to women younger than him because he cannot hold a conversation with a woman his age and older.
And I'll go
It
back
doesn't
to
make
that
it right.
to that interview with Nick Cannon had with V Clad Lad, something like that. He's on YouTube. And he said the same thing. He was like, listen, this man is illiterate. He said, so once a grown woman gets past the fame, what else is there to offer?
Exactly.
He can't sit down and have no conversations with her, no nothing. I mean, if you look back at the interview he had on BET with Aaliyah, he was grown in his 20s. This girl was 15 years old, and they got matching outfits on.
Exactly.
I mean, like, so that just goes to show
where his mind state was, where his mind state is. Now, again, it doesn't make it excusable because I was a victim of sexual abuse, but I would never want nobody to feel the way I felt.
Right.
So I would never do that to anybody, but everybody perceives things in their own way. So now, just like if you grow up in a household, you two sisters, and your mothers are drunk, one of y'all might become an alcoholic, and the other one may not. And what would it be? Because I saw my mother. Because I saw my mother.
Even
so it's
things
how you
with
perceive things.
even things with abuse, like look at Chris Brown's situation. He
Exactly.
was raised with his mother getting abused by his stepfather
Right.
his whole entire childhood. You know what I'm saying? And he has, I don't want to say abusive behavior, but he's definitely aggressive.
Right.
You know, so those
because
things.
as a child, when you see this, just like if you see love constantly, you know how to love people.
You're gonna mimic,
But if
right.
you see the opposite of that, you're gonna give out what you know. Like I always tell people can't give you what they don't have. So when you have girls saying, "Oh, they talking to their kids crazy," like maybe their mother never hugged them. You know, maybe their mother never told them they loved them. They didn't get shown love, so they can't give it unless they get help for that.
A lot of people are like that. It's either one or the other. You don't get treated right growing up. You either be a spokesperson for people that don't get treated right when you grow up, or you gonna turn around and you gonna mistreat
gonna victimize people.
Like it's one or the other. I mean, the fact that R. Kelly and his brother was abused by his older sister.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like
that's real
she
crazy.
was doing to them.
So can you imagine how messed up that can make you? Not only are
And
you
never
being
got
abused,
help for it.
you being abused
it's
by a sister
clear.
who's supposed to love you unconditionally.
Right.
And the sickness, now he turned that love into some sick love.
Right.
Because he expressed how he felt about his mom. And that's like, his mom's like, a son is not supposed to feel that way about his mom.
Right.
It was something was going on. So are we going to take it as the illiteracy helped or didn't help in this situation? So that plus being abused from the age of 6 years old, you know, when you're supposed to be out kicking rocks and, you know, doing all this other stuff, to who knows how long it went on. And not saying anything.
I think he said, I'm not sure, but I think he said from the age of 6 to like 10 or 8 to 10.
That's a
so
long
it went
time.
on for a very
That
long
is
time.
a long time.
And his music teacher said that he was
From the church.
ovosexual.
Yes.
She said like when they would do stuff and he would perform songs that was very sexual nature, and she used to try to tell him, and this is at a young age.
Exactly.
She would try to tell him like, you have to scale back, you have to tone it down.
Right.
You know, but of course he didn't, because look at the music that he used to produce.
Exactly.
And he never got help for this. So
Never.
No, and
that's because it wasn't spoke about.
And you cannot tell me that he is he's mentally ill. There's
Of course he
wrong
is.
with him.
Of course he is. If
help.
he could make
And-
Trapped in a Closet 39 freaking episodes.
That shit was funny as
Cool,
hell.
it was funny, but after a while I was like, all right, I'm gonna need you to chill the fuck
that
out.
was his way of trying to get some of maybe his issues out. Like,
And then that 19-minute
pictures
song,
and stories,
girl.
right.
Oh, he admit?
Girl,
That one?
yeah, but he,
I listen to
and
that.
I
I
me
listen
too.
to
It got
every
me, it got me,
19
and I was like,
minutes.
what the? So, and that was the thing when he was like, what is a man to do when parents are bringing you their children and saying that they're of age? What is he supposed to do? Say that you're lying? Well, yes, if he had education, he would have been asking for proof.
he had no self-control.
If the people
Even if he was
around
smart, he
him-
have no self-control.
If the people around him were more for him and not just being there to get money or do whatever, they would have made sure that he would have never been in this position.
That just goes to show you how much weight the dollar holds.
Oh, of course.
Like that's across the board. Like
Of
with
course.
the mothers, like how many of the mothers probably was like, well, shit, he don't want my ass, but he wants your little ass. You
Right.
want your ass over
I'm
and
going to
get
be
that money.
famous. That's what everybody
Right.
wants. Just like with Bill Cosby. I want to be famous. Oh, and he didn't come through. Yeah, but when I heard one of the girls sing, I'm like, boo, you knew you wasn't going to be famous. You could probably be famous now, but before you couldn't be famous because you can't sing.
And then you know what? It wasn't only young girls; it was older women. Because it was
Oh,
this
yeah.
33-year-old chick. I forgot her name,
Yeah,
but it was a 33-year-old chick that sat there and was like, she quit her job. She was a radio personality
Without a record deal.
She quit her job and relocated because she felt like he was famous. He had money, so you know. But she got.
So
bought
she was
and
illiterate
bought
too?
for.
Not at all.
She had to be some kind of stupid because you haven't even secured anything and but see, she thinking, yeah, my box is the bomb and I'm gonna hold this nigga down.
Right.
And
But you know
he's not smart enough to be like, oh yeah, she's with me. No.
Everybody benefited somehow.
Of course.
He wants me. I want the money.
We all go. It's a win-win situation.
We all using each other
Exactly.
for different reasons. Now it's all wrong, but sometimes that wrong feels so right. You like whatever.
Because in your mind, you thinking this is gonna get me to something. But at some point, you gotta realize that it ain't getting you nowhere, but just on your back. Sure. Like the one girl I did watch where the girl was like, he was telling me he would break you down. I'm like, yeah, stupid people do that because they want you on their level. Like,
right, absolutely.
They do that. They try to break you down.
They have to. That's
so
an abuser. They
have
to break you down
right,
first.
Exactly. And she's like, oh, when he said, if you love me, you'll do this. Talking about a threesome. And she was like, I love him, so I'm gonna do it. Mm-hmm. But then, okay, but if you didn't like that after like the second or third time, but why you still doing it?
But that's another thing too. Also, and I'm not trying to say that his wife didn't endure some abuse, but I am questioning a lot of her stuff too, because it's like, okay, he has all of these. First of all, how the hell? I mean, he had you chained, he did whatever he did to you, but how the hell you live in a house and you had, because it was stuff, he didn't only just do things outside, he did things within the home as well. Not only did he do things within the home, he had all of these other females eating pussy, licking ass, doing shit like that. So what made you so different? Because he was abusing you, he was doing shit to you. So you mean to tell me that you wasn't partaking in nothing at all?
Her life was lavish.
Exactly.
And she
was young too. She was 19 years old.
But she
was a dancer, and she had her own thing going on.
And she wanted to be a choreographer, a famous choreographer.
Yes.
Why not get with R. Kelly? R. Kelly is looking at me because I seen her moving. She got some moves.
Yes,
I've
seen her do some shit, but she was doing some
she out here twerking and all this other stuff. I'm like, yes, but I'm like, okay, so you tried to do this show, whatever the hell the show was called, with all the other
guys. The X. Right. I didn't even know she existed until that show.
No, I knew only because in the beauty parlor we used to get those books, and she had did a story when they was about to divorce. She had did a story and they was talking about his daughter who was like confused about sexuality and stuff like that, and she didn't really mention much abuse. She was like basically like kind of like closed in about it, but just saying, we decided that we're gonna go our separate ways, blah 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 blah.
Like she was watching her words because she was not fucking
she didn't
want
want that money.
Points.
So then when she did that show, that was it. That was it. Because now you like, let's say we signed a contract that what is it, a non-disclosure agreement. Now you done, like how many people done tried it, and these dudes is like, oh no, you ain't gonna fuck up my shit. Because you want to tell your side of the story. Right. Like you had nothing to do with whatever went on. Like you're not going to mess up my thing. I still take care of you. Now, she would have still been going to take care of her. But remember, she got married to that young dude that didn't last that long. So what happened?
You see, she had children with him. And I think no matter what she felt about him, no matter what he was doing, she knew what it was. She was there.
Of course.
She witnessed a lot of it. But you got to think about your kids sometimes. Like,
and get up and leave. Think
about
Tina Turner. Get up and go.
About this situation that's going on with their father. Who wants to grow up their whole life with people making jokes? Your father nasty. Your father like little girls and things like that. Like, nobody ever brought up his kids like, we cracked jokes on this man for years about liking little girls and stuff.
Kids was getting teased at school and everything.
Right, after the story came out.
Right.
After she did that story, and I can't remember if it was like Essence or one of them. She did a story. After she did that story, yes, of course. But you did this. Right. You decided to bring America into your home.
And I wouldn't have spoke out right now. I would have been like, you know what? Even if my kids was grown, I'm not going to do that, because now if people did fade and die down a little bit with the discussions around my kids, now you're just bringing it back to life again. And that's not fair to them. No. Now the daughter had this long ass letter that the Shade Room posted, explaining herself. Like now she got to relive this again. And her mother's just adding on to it. She just dived on top of the pile. Like, why? Like, you got to separate yourself for the sake of your kids. Like, the kids already said they don't fuck with their father.
Right.
They don't. So why are you speaking up? Why are you saying anything? Like, you done with him.
Right. She could have let those other women say what they had to say.
Let them be.
Because
but she need the money too.
She need the money too.
Like,
and it was
she need the money too.
She need the money too. And it was also some type of thing that was said that she was scamming the young ladies. That
Yes,
did
and she
the
tried to
interview.
get them out of
She
their
was-
money.
Yeah, and this one girl that was supposed to be on it, she got her taken off of it. Like something happened or another, I don't know, but something happened with that. But then also,
All I see is all these reality shows. You trying to get some money.
of
That's,
course
that's
she
all
is.
I see.
Of course. And then, then she said in her interview, she also said that while she was with him and everything was fresh out and it came out about the pornography, she did not have any knowledge of none of the things he was doing. She said
So
that
then she
because he
shouldn't
had
have
her
been
soul,
speaking
she
now
said he had her so closed in, and I guess he was hiding her from the world and everything that was going
don't know
on.
what for.
She didn't know nothing. And then when everything was going on, he took her and moved her. She was pregnant, took her and moved her and her friend. But why you got friends, boo? You locked up in the cage like you this chick in the
bye.
castle.
She
And
must
said,
have raised that friend from birth. Because what the fuck?
Women are natural
But
detectives.
even- okay.
Like ain't no motherfucking way in the world that something's going down in that house or in that
Unless you
town
dumb,
and she
deaf,
ain't
blind,
know
or
about it.
mute.
Exactly.
We just detectives
Exactly.
by nature. Don't play
Exactly.
stupid. Like there's no, it's gonna come out and make it just like, you know what? You know better than the people that was using him for money.
That it feel
He's
good.
dumb. They seeking, you know, an outlet. 'Cause
Right.
They broke.
Of
I've
course.
heard plenty of mothers back in the days when I was younger, and daughters, like older guys, they be like, you better not be all up in his face and not getting nothing for it.
Exactly.
You better be getting
Because
some damn
I was
money.
one of those girls.
But
I
it's
was one of
Getting
those
some
girls
money.
dating an older
I've
man,
heard
and he
lots
took good
of
care of
mothers
me.
say that.
But
You
my
better
mother
not
didn't
let
know
no
she would've
man
killed
be
my
all up in
ass.
your face for
She
nothing.
would have killed my ass. And when she found it, she's like, I should lock him up. I was like, no. I got no sneakers and no bags and no jewelry. What you need? Don't do that.
Like,
Like,
some mothers will be like, well, shit, tell him to get me something.
right.
too.
But see, I was too scared to be sexual with him because all I could hear in my mother mind is, if you do this, I'm going to do this. So I was scared for a
I
long
think
time. But then
everybody
eventually, you
had,
know.
like, I know I was 19 and I had met a guy, he was 28, and he took very good care
Yes,
of me. And
yes.
I never laid down with him because he just looked too much like Mike Tyson. He was just light skinned. But he was very
neck for
sweet.
days.
I mean, he did everything. Used to take me jewelry shopping, would give me
Yes,
flowers. He
and
would
that's
do things. And
that
I remember,
is the benefits of being with an older man.
Yes, and I mean, and I never used to let him come in until my mother. He came, and my mother caught wind of all the things he was doing, and she was like, "You let him in."
Like, you messing up the game. I'm like,
No, she was. She
Right.
like let him in.
Like my
But,
son
you know,
Paul
like
is 5 years older than me. When I started talking to him, I was 16. My mother knew.
look, he's a predator. Look,
Right.
look.
right. And I ain't getting nothing for it. I mean, I got a son who
Right,
I
right,
love.
right. That's all.
But-
That's worth more than any
But
money
at
in the
that
world.
time, when I was 16, like my mother knew him. His mother knew me. We lived in the same building. I used to be in his house every day after school. I ain't doing no damn homework. I got to go see my boyfriend.
You was doing some homework, girl. You was
Yeah,
home
you
doing some
homework,
work.
yeah, girl.
Right. But it was not, and nothing felt wrong about it to nobody.
Well, because
To
if you
nobody.
think about it, let me tell you something. We really wanted to take people down. Half the people in this world will be in jail
Right.
for messing with an underage person. Because not just girls. Half of the people in this world be in prison for messing with an underage girl. We wouldn't need to lock people up for crack and cocaine and weed because we would be filled up with predators.
Right, like he
Pedophiles.
gave me money. He took me out to eat. I wasn't going to McDonald's no more. I'm going
Girl.
to restaurants and I'm eating
Listen,
open steak
I went to Red
sandwiches.
Lobster
in
my first
restaurants
time when I
and
was
stuff like
16
that.
years old.
Nah,
And I
I'm
was like,
grown.
oh, shit.
I'm
We
going
doing
to the
big things.
jewelry shop. I'm going to the Coliseum. I'm getting jewelry. Like
Exactly.
I'm not in my mother's pocket no more.
Exactly. And then
And
mama
so
wondering, you
my
got a
mother
page
was
yet? Where
like-
you get that from?
Right.
Listen.
But it was a lot of dudes in the neighborhood, and I'm not
Yeah.
going to say no names. But it was
Exactly.
a
You
lot
know
of
who you
doing
are.
Things that they had no business doing. Why? Because the girl was developed.
Exactly.
She was underage, and everybody knew it.
Exactly.
And that was just the thing where they'd be like, "Look at this nasty nigga over there doing that."
Exactly.
And it was nobody cared because these was just they wasn't celebrities.
No.
So it's like when I hear this stuff, I feel bad for these girls, but it's so common to me, and that's messed up that I come from an area where it's like that's what people do. And
Listen,
it's like,
it's been so much, and I told you guys, you know, I was a victim of a lot of stuff. Like I remember being about 15 or 16 and having a gun pulled out on me because I would not have sex with a guy. And this person I looked at as family. Like we used to roll together. Like I've carried guns for you. Like I was like, this is my big cousin. And it was so shocking. I think he must have seen like my face, like I was just like so in shock. I would not cry. I would not say nothing. I would not even be like, don't do it. I'm just like, if he gonna shoot me, he gonna shoot me. I'm like, because I'm not doing this. Like this is not something, I mean, rip my stockings and everything. And I guess being from the hood, it wasn't something that you said you went to the police and you ran and told. I just was like, I'm not going to tell. And I never told nobody this. I've told cousins, but I never told them who it was.
Right.
And to this day, this dude speaks to me. He even said to somebody, tell Sharma I need to talk to him. And I was like, for what? But I said, I didn't know if I should talk to him about it now because I'm in a different space. I'm like, but I don't know what would that bring up in me.
Right.
Would he even remember? Because I know back in them days, niggas was sniffing coke. Niggas was doing a lot of things. They was slinging drugs, but they was also using them. So I'm like, I don't know if he would remember because the way he
remember
speaks to
the
me,
fact that he told somebody to tell you he needs to speak to you, it's a possibility that he does remember.
He trying to get right with the Lord.
well,
and
he had
wants
plenty
to
of
talk to you.
opportunities because we have been in very intimate settings where, he could have been like, let me pull you to the side and just whatever have you. I'm like, so, that instance, I mean, there's been a lot of instances. And when people tell me, oh, you too overprotective of your kids, I'm like, there's no such thing.
Right,
I'm like, because
absolutely
I know what I've been through. I would never want neither one of my kids to go through any of those things. My
Right.
kids don't even know the shit that I've been through. It's like, I'm like, can you imagine being molested from the age of 2 all the way up to like the age of 10? Like, I could be out there molesting people, but that's not what I want. I would never want anybody to feel unsafe, feel insecure, because for a long time, I felt insecure about myself. And people always say, oh, you so sexy, you so pretty. I'm like, but I didn't feel that way.
Because you have been violated for so long.
Girl, I used to wear baggy jeans, big boots, big sweatshirts. And my mother used to always say, why you dress like that? You got such a nice shape. I said, because I don't want people looking at me.
you like that, right?
Grown men walking down the street, oh, look at you. And I'm like, don't look at me. Like, stop looking at me. Like, I never wanted to be the center of attention. And I lost that when I was young. Like, I was in a commercial. Like, I wanted to be a star, but I lost that when all of those things happened to me. Like, I didn't even know that I was molested at the age of 2 until I saw some court documentation. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, I thought I knew everything about my life. But I'm like 2 years old. Like, what the fuck? Like, when do you leave your 2-year-old alone with any fucking body? I'm like, my child is 7 and I don't want to leave her no fucking where. My daughter's 21 and I'm like, call me.
Right.
Check up, check in. So I'm like, so that was the reason when I spoke to you guys about doing the book, because I was like, there's people that need this therapy. There's people that need this story. And I wanted so bad to be a psychologist for young kids, but then I got pregnant with my daughter, and I didn't have the person that, oh, I got your daughter while you do this. I didn't have that. Shit, I don't got that now, but I said, you know what? She's 7, her ass gonna go with me to class, and it's just gonna be what it is. I'm like, but it's so many people out there that have been through this, and that's why I didn't watch the R. Kelly story, because I was like, I love this man, but then I had to realize it's not the man I love because I don't know him.
Right.
It's his music I love. Right. And I will never not like his music because his music has brought me through so many things, just like Michael Jackson, just like Whitney was on drugs, but Whitney Houston too. I mean, I ain't going to smoke no crack or whatever the hell, because she said crack is whack. So whatever the hell she's smoking.
Get it right.
I mean, but the whole thing is, everybody got some skeletons in their fucking closet.
Ain't nobody perfect.
I'm not pointing a finger at nobody. We all sinners. We just sin differently. And it's just that your shit ain't come out yet.
Right.
And it will come out. And all I say is, as an adult, all of the people who have done things to me, either they met their maker or they got their karma, or they will. Right. They will. I mean, and I'm not, I could seek revenge, but I mean, where would that leave me? That would leave my kids without a mother. So, and that would leave the people who need to hear from me, that would leave them without me. Right. So I'm just, and trust me, I have thought about murder a lot of times. Even with people that just be fucking with me, like I'd be like, I could just kill this bitch. Nobody would know. I don't mean that. But, it's just, the shit, like the anger I used to have inside of me, and my mother used to be like, I don't know what's wrong with you. But you did, well, I don't know. She didn't know all, but you had to know when I was 2 years old. Because how did I know that?
What? That's the sad thing, because it's so like I come from a very sheltered home. Like, I couldn't spend a night out. I couldn't shit. When I was freaking 18, I'm going to the store. What you going to the store for? Shit, I don't know until I get to the store. Like, I don't know. I just want something from the store.
With my kids.
And that's the way that my mother was with me. My father was overprotective. Like, if I had friends, and I'd be like, can I go to such house? Where such live? Especially the Vietnam building at the corner.
Girl.
They live in it. Hell no, you can't go. And I remember being a teenager, and I had a friend that I was really, really cool with, and she lived across the street. She had an older brother. and he liked me and everything like that. But when you're young, you're like 14, 15, you're not thinking along the lines as an adult will think.
Right.
And I remember wanting to go to spend a night at a house, and my mother was like, no. And I was so pissed.
But your mother knew.
And I remember my brother telling me the reason why she won't let you is because such and such older brother. And I'm like, still like baffled.
Because you dumb at that age.
Right,
You're
so
stupid. You just like,
right. So it didn't take until I got older and I was like, okay, I get it. When I had kids of my own. But, so I didn't come from a world, of knowing about people getting sexually abused young and things like that. It wasn't until I got older and then I started meeting different people and hearing stories. And it was just so baffling to me, like so many people,
I narrow it down to be 1 in 3. So I'm 1 out of 3.
Right.
I don't know if Mo has ever been sexually abused, but 1 in 3 women have been sexually abused in their span of their lifetime.
If you got violated, touched in any type of way against your will.
If a grown man kissed you,
even in a relationship, if you said no and he still, that's
exactly
the same thing.
And I'm like, when people try to use things against you to get sex, that's abuse.
Right.
I mean, the whole thing is then, so, growing up, I was very promiscuous because I said, nobody's going to take it from me. If I'm going to give it to somebody, I'm going to give it to them because I want to give it to them. But then that was a fucked up way of thinking because I was abusing myself at this point.
That was your coping mechanism.
Right.
Like,
and I would just fuck with a nigga and be like, I would never call his ass again because now I got the power. But when I sit down and think about it, I really didn't. I was losing my power because I was allowing myself to be taken down to this level to just thinking that I had this power, saying nobody's going to, control me in that way. I'm going to be in control. And even it played a big part in my marriage where like I would like be like, if he would wake me up out my sleep, I would just wake up flipping, throwing, blow. Like we would get into real fights because I'm like, you can't do that. I'm like, because I don't know at the moment when I'm sleeping, I'm thinking you trying to hurt me.
Right.
So that was, and he didn't have the mental capacity to understand what was really going on after I had explained to him what had happened to me. He didn't have that to understand, like, damn, like I need to get her some help, like I need to help her.
Right.
I saw therapy. It helped for a little while, but I feel like for me, the more I read and and I talk to people, the more I release it, the better it is for me.
Right.
The hardest thing is going to be telling my children.
You might help somebody else.
Yeah, that is going to be the hardest thing for me is telling my children like this, because my daughters always say, but you know her mother. I said, but I don't know the company she keep.
Right.
I'm like, this girl come to school with glass in her eye, broken arm. I said, you cannot go spend the night at nobody's house. I don't care who's there, because women abuse girls too.
Absolutely.
I'm like, so I'm like, I hate that I had to live in fear for so many years. And my child, because Treasure don't know yet, she hasn't asked yet. So she had to suffer, like, and I don't know what spending the night, if that would have helped her character. I don't know that.
My kids,
I don't know.
They know where they go to my mama house, and that's it. When they were younger, when my oldest was younger, she would go to her father's house, and I would always be questioning, because she had like
that's right.
And
I
anybody
tell my
touching
kids,
you?
I
Is
don't care
anybody
who it is.
I'm looking,
Uncle, brother, my brothers, your father, his brother. I don't care who it is. I said, I always tell my kids, I'm like, y'all know your mother crazy. I'm like, so I don't care what somebody tell you. They're going to tell you that I'm going to kill you. They're going to tell you I'm going to kill your mother. Don't believe them. I said, because your mother will kill them first. I'm like, I can't fix that issue, but I'm going to make it right. I'm like, I'm going to make it right. I'm like, so you don't believe when somebody tells you, oh, if you tell anybody, I'm going to do this.
Like,
because
don't be afraid to
people
tell
have
me,
told me.
right.
I've had people who was supposed to be my cousin. My mother used to play cards a lot. So, we was around kids. And I used to be with a family, they had nothing but boys. And then there was another family, they had some sisters, but they was much older. When you're young, people seem a lot older.
Yeah.
I don't even know how old they was, but I know they was teenagers. And one day, we outside playing. I'm playing, having a good time now. My mother, I don't know, I don't want to get her in trouble, but so she used to have one of those, those fireproof cabinets with like stacks and stacks of food stamps in there, like stacks and stacks and stacks. Like she was harboring food stamps.
She was dealing.
Girl, she had like 3 social security numbers. She was just getting it. Mind you, she worked 2.5 jobs. She just loved money. So, and she used to do mad shit, right? She used to do mad shit. She corny now. Like, she mad corny now. All she did was go to bingo. Yeah, I said it. Like, she is mad corny now. But back then, so I was like, she'll never let me buy nothing for the store. She got all these foods. I took a stack, put it in my shoe.
Had them little paper,
put it in my shoe. And I'm just playing and playing and playing. So he came and got me and said, come upstairs and watch TV. So I'm like, okay, because it's all boys outside.
Right.
So I go upstairs, there's people in the other room, so we go in the room, and he's like, oh, you can sit on the bed. So I sit on the bed. Now, I don't remember everything that happened because I'm sure I done blacked out a lot of stuff.
Right.
But the one statement I remember him saying to me, now, mind you, I had to be about 7. We had the fire in 86, I was 10 then. So I had to be about between 8 and 9. I'm going to say 7 and 9. And he said, do you want me to use Vaseline or no? Now, I don't even know what the fuck that was for. I didn't even know what that was for. And I just looked at him and was like, I don't know. I'm like, I don't know. Now, I don't think at the time, I don't think like he like did anything major. I think he just was like touching me and stuff. And I think he might have put his face down there. And then he said to me, somebody was coming. And he said, if you tell your mother, if you tell anybody, he was like, I'm going to do something. So me, I was just, now I come outside, I'm different. Because I don't even know what the fuck just happened. So I go and I go in the hallway. And before I could get up the stairs, my mother's calling me. And this call is a different call. So I'm like, what did I do? Right. This dude had went and told my mother that I was in the hallway playing with some little boy dingling. So instead of my mother asking the little boy or asking me, she stripped me butt-ass naked in front of all these boys and beat my ass. Now, I'm confused because I didn't do anything wrong. So from that moment, I had never told my mother anything that ever happened to me because I didn't trust her. Like, even to this day, I'd be like, I don't trust her. Because at the moment where I felt like she should have been hugging me or like at least asking me, she betrayed me. And then I know he had got locked up. I don't know what for. But some years later, now I'm married with kids. And she called me one day and she's like, oh, let me tell you who came out of jail. And I'm like, okay, who? And she said the name. And she's like, he's so stupid. He was with this CEO and she was taking care of him. And I'm just listening. Because I'm like, why is she calling me, telling me about this dude? So she was like, yeah, now he with some chick. And I said, Ma, I don't ever understand why you. I said, okay, all right, whatever. So then I don't even know how we got from that conversation to me telling her how she stripped me and beat me. She said, oh, you always making up stories. I was like, I'm 30-something years old. Why do I got to make that up? So one of her friends who used to play cards was there at the bingo hall. She said, well, such and such is here. I'm going to ask her right now. She's like, such and such, did I do that? She was like, yeah, Ivy, you did that. I just hung up the phone and just bust into tears because I'm sitting here like, you still think that I would be lying about something as minute as an ass whooping? Right. Like, you done beat my ass millions of times. Like, why would I pick this one? So I called my husband. He said, yo, what the fuck is wrong with your mother? I'm like, I don't know. But I remember at that moment, I never told her what he did to me. But at the same time, why would you keep saying that I'm making up stories? Like, I could tell you some stories that will really fuck your shit up. I'm like, and one day I will sit down and talk to her and tell her, like, this is why I'm angry at you. This is why this is happening. This is why I was doing this as a kid. This is probably why I set your damn house on fire. Like, this is the shit. Like, you know, but when you believe your own truth, which is not the truth, you don't want to hear the real truth. So, you know, when you tell lies so much, you begin to believe those lies. So in her eyes, our life was perfect. Like, we was perfect, and we was far from that. Like, yeah, you lived the perfect life, so, you know, because she came from a very sheltered family. They didn't do nothing. They went to church every day.
But that's crazy because the fact that her background, she came from a place where she was very, very sheltered. Why wasn't she like that?
Why? Because she wanted to be the opposite of what her mother was.
Like, I'm not going to isolate my kids. They're not going to be stuck
Which
up
I
in
thank
the
her
house.
for.
They're going to get out and enjoy life.
Because I would never be a person that used drugs. Like, I would never be that person because I have street sense. Right. Like, you know, like my cousins, like people could get over on them all the time because they were sheltered. Yeah. Me and my brothers is no way. Like, we out here in these streets. Like, I was out in these streets selling drugs, like doing all of that shit. Like, I was out in these streets at a young age because I had no choice. My mother had a choice, but she chose to go the opposite way because she didn't get along with her mother, you know. And just like me, like my mother had a body when she was young. So she didn't know how to handle the attention from outside the house. Now, I don't know if my mother was ever sexually abused. I don't know, because we don't have those conversations. Because, you know, as in a black family, we don't talk about shit.
Right.
And if we talked about shit, a lot of shit wouldn't happen. And I just realized staying in that statement, like, I haven't talked to my kids. But again, I don't bring people in my house. I don't let them go nowhere. Right. So I try to make sure that nothing, if I could prevent it, nothing is going to happen to them. Yeah, and I look at these women, I be like, y'all niggas be out Monday through Friday. Like, who got y'all kids? I be struggling.
They ain't even worrying.
I'm like, I got one person I trust to come in my house and watch my daughter. One person. I'm like, all of those other people, it got to be my mom, maybe his mom, her godmother, you know, him. I'm like, but now she's at an age where she's gonna tell me because we talk and she can't hold water. So she's gonna talk about it, whether it's slip up or not.
Right.
She's gonna talk about it. So I'm a little more, I wouldn't say I'm so lenient with Treasure, but I'm a little more lenient, but not to the point where like you could go spend the night.
Right.
Yeah, I
You
didn't
ain't
really
spend the
get
night
to
nowhere.
spend the night too many places. Like my grandmother and my mother and my grandfather and my uncle. So I had a bunch of adults in the house, and everybody was like,
Not gonna happen.
like I couldn't really go nowhere. But they used to talk to me a lot about don't let nobody touch you and don't let nobody do this and that. So I was always like, don't look at me.
Mm-hmm.
What are you looking at me for? Like I'm like, and I still kind of act funny. Like I don't really touch people when I was little. Like people in the family, oh, come give me sugar. No. Like I'm
But
the
that
one
has
that be
came
like,
into my adult
and my
life.
mother be like, "That's rude. You don't do that." Like I didn't let nobody hug me.
Everybody
Nobody's
wants to
kissing
hug
me.
nowadays, and I be
Don't
like,
touch-
oh,
I was
oh,
like, don't
you
touch
know,
me.
it took me a
She
long time
go
to get
and hug
there.
your uncle such and such. No,
Like,
And she
for
be
what?
Like, you so damn rude. You embarrassing me. Like,
But they don't know they
touch me.
created you to be like
Right,
that.
like, no, don't touch me. And
They
I would
created
do
you
the
to be like
whole.
that.
I'm a matrix on you when I was little. Like, no, don't touch me. I'm not hugging you. And
Yes.
no. And my son was the same way too. Like, he'd be like, move over. Like,
Right.
you too close.
See,
Why
that's
you
my
so
oldest
close?
daughter. She's
move
very
over,
like, don't, she's
stop.
very, don't touch me.
Yeah.
That's my oldest daughter too.
She's
She
very
don't like
like,
people.
Right,
no.
and it's like that with boys too. Like he didn't get to go a lot of places because, like, the same way with girls.
Oh
they-
yes,
they-
because one of my
it's
brothers was
rampant with
sexually abused
boys.
soon by the damn babysitter.
And you know a boy ain't gonna tell. A boy will never tell because in his mind, like, well, somebody
That's my
older be
manhood.
Like, yeah,
That's my
yeah,
manhood.
yeah. Exactly.
Oh, keep going.
No, it was just like we just gonna just watch the kids.
I don't know, probably about 7,
Okay.
6,
Okay.
5.
Just trying.
I saw a hand in
keep
the air.
track.
5.
Okay.
We just gonna we just watch the kids. You gotta watch the boys as
Right.
much as you watch the girls.
Yeah, absolutely.
And teach boys that you can be violated too, but you
That's
have to
right.
speak up too. Like,
That's right.
boys
But
don't speak up.
boys
It's not
and men
okay.
don't speak up. They're not
Why?
as open
It's not
Because
as
we teach
women.
boys, don't cry, don't do this, don't be a wussy, don't be a sucker, don't do this. If more men cry, they would be more loving to their women. If more men played with dolls as a kid, they would be more loving to their children. I'm like, but we put these men in this certain state, like you can't do this. You're not allowed to have feelings. And then
Right.
we wonder why they don't have feelings. I ain't got no sons, but Lord, if God bless me with one, he might be a faggot because I mean, I'm gonna make sure that he's very,
that he's
excuse my
loved,
language, but
that
I'm gonna
he's
make sure that
loved,
he
yeah.
gets that love that he needs so that he can give that love. Because these men is like, I don't understand what's the problem with
Emotionally
being loved by
unavailable,
somebody.
right.
Right, there's a disconnect. It's a disconnect between, like we see all these videos where men are like literally knocking women out. What the fuck?
Right.
Like when we was growing up, that shit didn't happen.
Right.
I mean, I know women could be real disrespectful. I do know that. And as a woman growing up, you was taught you don't jump in no man's face.
Right.
You don't put your hand on no man. But now, I don't know, these women, you it's like you testing them. You keep poking the bear. Eventually, yes, it's gonna happen. Like on my way here, I literally saw this big ass 7-foot white man literally knock this black girl out.
Yo,
Somebody
did y'all
sent me that
see
video
the
and I was
one
like,
about
what
big
the
top,
fuck?
about big top?
Girl, bye. Girl,
What
bye.
pissed me off,
I'm
I
glad
don't
she
know
bust
if
his ass,
She
but
bust his ass, but what
all
pissed
the
me
dudes
off
that
is
was
that
around
all
didn't
of
do
them men
nothing.
was standing around her
And then
nobody
grabbing
jumped
her.
in.
I'm like, he
Right.
was supposed to be in a fucking full Nelson in a headlock or something. Like, throw some grease on his ass. Like, yeah, she handled her business, but he should not have been able to even reach over that
Over the-
counter
right.
and grab her.
Right.
He tried to snatch her soul over that counter.
Right.
I was like, what the fuck?
But that just goes to show that
Men
our
are
not
losing
but
respect
they're
for
not
our
pro-
women,
and they're
but
not
why?
protecting
But
women
why?
like
The women are not giving them anything to respect. And that's the problem. That's a big problem that the women are, they're leaving their respect wherever the hell they leaving it at. And then you still want these men to show you some level of respect, but you're not respecting yourself.
The roles
And
are
it's the
reversing
majority.
these days. Like
It's the
women
majority.
are getting more masculine and a lot of men
Yep.
are getting more feminine.
That's
I don't know
right.
what's happening these days,
Yeah.
but like
Yep.
that shit is not gonna fly in my house because
Exactly.
my son know. Like
Exactly.
I was extra tough with him because I was afraid that since he grew up in a house with a bunch of women that he would be soft. So
Right.
I was more, rugged with him than like, no, we
Oh,
didn't
no,
do
I
that.
don't do that
No,
with
we
my
didn't do
girls.
that.
What the hell? I'm punching them both in the chest. Like,
Right,
you better
like-
man up.
Exactly.
I'm like, you better know how
right,
to
take
fight in
this
these
punch
streets.
in the chest and
Because if a nigga hit
Right.
you, you better hit his ass back.
exactly. The only thing
Pick
I
up a
used to
fucking
be
frying
stern
pan
with
and
him
crack him
about
over the
when
skull.
he was little
That
was
bullshit.
don't let me catch you arguing with no girls.
Right.
Don't
Right.
let me catch you doing that.
Exactly.
And he wouldn't do it and he used to get tested by he had a little a little stalker when he was in 4th grade.
Damn, 4th grade.
Yeah, she
but
had.
it ain't
and
no
she-
different now because
I
these
know,
little
the
girls
kids
are
in
real
my school
aggressive.
in 2nd grade are twerking. I'm like, whoa.
Right.
Whoa.
And she used to try
Put
him
it
all
away.
the time.
Put it away, but
Snap his
I
hat
don't
and
really
try
blame them.
him.
At my school, they be playing some ratchet music.
No,
and I'm like,
let me tell
where
you.
these parents
Let
at to
me
hear? Because if I walked into my
tell
daughter's
you.
school and they was playing Cardi B, I have a problem with that.
Let me tell you, right, real quick. I remember they had a little school dance. I think Madison probably was like in the 5th grade, maybe 6th, but I want to go with 5th, right? So they had a little school dance. I had came from work, so I was like, let me pick up or whatever.
Is that our current school?
Yes,
Okay.
it is her current
Okay.
school.
All right.
So, they playing a little music, and I don't want her to see me because I want to see how she acts amongst her
that's
peers. I'm
right.
good for that. I'm one of those
That's
mothers.
right.
I'm behind
Sneak
the
up on
tree,
your ass.
behind the cars, like I
In
do
stealth
that type of
mode.
shit. So I'm just like leaning back, and I'm seeing the girls, and they are popping their ass, and I seen one little girl on all 4s. Popping her, and I'm looking and they all crying. And I see myself, and one of her teachers came out. I was like, I want to see what she's going to do because I was like, if I see her pop her
It's
ass,
gonna
I'm
be
gonna kick
pop
her
that foot up
dead
in that ass
fucking
in front of
But
everybody.
she didn't do any of that stuff. But I just was so amazed at the little.
Well, can you imagine 2nd grade?
I don't even.
2nd
wanna.
grade.
I don't even want.
And I'm talking about when Level Up come on. I'm like, I can't even do that.
Kids are different when they are. All you need is for no adults to be around.
Oh no,
you.
it's adults there. This is in the lunchroom.
This is in school.
This is in the
I thought
lunchroom.
it was like
The
some
teacher,
schoolyard,
the
nobody
person
around.
in charge is playing the music, and I'll be like, my jaw be on the floor all day because I'm like, is he playing Meek Mills up in here? This is elementary school. I can't even listen to Meek when I'm in the car with my baby. I'm like, when you getting out? I'm like, if I walked into the school and I was a parent, I would have a serious problem. I'm like, but y'all problem is they don't get enough time to eat their food. Yeah, well, if they sit their ass down and stop dancing to Meek Mill, they can eat. They can eat. Shit is crazy. I'm like, no, I'm sorry. I wish a parent would just walk in, and sometimes parents do be there. And I'm like, y'all don't have a problem with this music? What do they know about this stuff that these people are singing? That they know every word?
When I caught my son repeating some words he had no business repeating, it was a 50 Cent song. And he was flowing. He knew all the words. I don't say nothing.
He was
I was
feeling
just
it.
listening like, say it. Girl,
Look,
say
you be
it.
like,
Let me catch
arithmetic.
it, say it. Let me catch it. And then he was going, he cursing and all, and he like feeling it and everything. I was like, go get a pen and paper. He was like, huh? I was like, go get a pen and paper. He's like, okay. He get the pen and paper. I'm like, now you gonna write 100 times. I must not say whatever that line was that you said, and fucking write it 100 times.
That's right.
And don't stop until you hit 100. He like, I'm sorry.
Nope, don't want to hear
Right.
it. Show
But
me you
he
sorry.
knew.
The baby
He
needs
knew.
to.
We was doing that since he was in elementary school. I catch you playing yourself with your mouth. Go get a pen and paper. No. Sorry. Get a pen and paper. He already know he done fucked up when I say get the pen
That's
and
right.
paper.
Treasure caught me like that one time in the car, and I forgot what song, but he said something about ass, and she was just going with the flow, and I said, but that's what he said. I said, yeah, but you don't say it. You don't say it, because now they playing it on the radio.
Give out writing
I
assignments.
said, you don't say it.
I learned that
And
punishment in school.
Treasure already,
Get a writing
she
assignment.
already got a book that she got to write. She be so pissed off. She be so pissed off. I'm like, you say a word wrong, now you going to keep writing it until you say
That's
it right.
it, parents. Your kids talking crazy. Tell them to get a pen and
So y'all
paper
have-
and do a writing assignment.
Do you have any closings? Because we
Yes,
gotta
I know.
wrap it up.
So I just want to say, I hope that it helps somebody. I hope that, if you want to talk, you don't have my number, but you can email, and you can DM me on Instagram. I think I changed my name to Charmed, I'm sure, 40.
Yes, I was like, when I was going to
Yes,
tag you, I
right,
was like,
exactly.
oh, okay, I see what we doing
Yes.
here.
So if you want to talk to me, or you want to ask questions, or you need some clarity, you can DM me, and if you think who I'm talking about, you could DM me too. And we could clear this up. So, like I said, I don't like to be violated. I was recently violated, but we're going to handle that. And just watch your kids. Just watch your kids.
Yeah, it's important.
Educate yourself on things. And
educate your kids.
Educate
too,
your kids. Right. And
so
don't be
that they
afraid
could
to talk to
know
your
when
kids
they're being
about
violated,
things.
because a lot of times you don't know. You might feel like something is not right, but a lot of times they just don't know because those conversations are not being had with them.
And my
It's
daughter does watch
important.
the show. My 21-year-old does watch the show. So, yes, we can have a conversation. Just call me, FaceTime your mama, and we'll talk. But, and as far as the whole R. Kelly thing and all the other people, like Harvey Weinstein got off, but Bill Cosby is rotting in jail.
Right.
But, as far as that, everybody's entitled to their own opinion.
Right.
So I'm not right. She's not right. The other people not right. Only people that know what really happened was R. Kelly and the people that was there. So those are the only people that can really give us full disclosure on what happened.
Right.
So, I'm going to mind my business. I'm going to still listen to his music, though, because I love it.
I do, too.
I just won't be fantasizing about him no more.
Absolutely not.
Because I ain't his type. I ain't in his age group.
We too old. We too old.
Shit.
People have to get help. You have issues. You got to talk to somebody. Get
Girl,
some help.
get some
Get
help.
some help.
Yeah, definitely.
And
This
learn
is-
how to
this is
separate the person's personal character from the art. Like,
Absolutely,
this is
'cause I
a
still
big
like the Cosby
difference.
Show.
It's a big
Me
difference.
too. Me
So you got to
too.
learn how to separate the two, because
Right,
if that's the
exactly.
case, there's a whole lot of people that I help on a daily basis when I'm at work, and I'm not always the nicest person, but they not going to say, oh, well, don't go to that hospital because
Right.
she's a bitch and stuff like
Right.
that. But if I do good work, I do good work.
Right.
Don't
Like, she
judge
good, but
me.
she just got a little attitude problem. But you
Right,
can
it's a
get
little
past that.
attitude, but I'm gonna help you. But I might, don't
Right.
worry about the personal side of me. Just worry about what I do to help you.
Right. Just worry about the business that
The
we
service.
have.
Just worry
Yeah.
about the
Right.
business. If we
Yeah.
separate the two, then it won't really affect all of us.
There's a lot of
the
people
way
that need
it
to be in
is
jail
right
right now. Real talk. A lot of people that need to be in jail right now. So,
The whole hood.
turn yourselves
The
in
whole hood.
before somebody tell your story.
Exactly.
Well, all right, y'all. Thank you for listening to the Lipstick
Thank you for joining the Lipstick Chronicles. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Yes, we got a good show for y'all, too.
Peace.